Have you ever been on a Facebook group or listened to some of these agent coaches out there say something to the effect of there's plenty of business for everybody? Have you ever thought about that? I remember hearing that one of the first times that I guess one of the first months really that I got into the industry of, I forget exactly who it was. It was on YouTube, so one of the original people that were, trying to sell you something on YouTube. They said something to the effect of there's plenty of business for everybody. And then all this other stuff that they kept going on and on. And at the end was the pitch on buying their calling or whatever program that they had for agents at that time. I remember thinking, what a stupid thing to say. Even back then, I knew, just getting into the industry, I knew that there's a certain amount of homes that are available for sale. I believe the number's like 7 million homes that get sold every year. Something to that effect. I forget the exact number now. But then I remember looking at the amount of real estate licenses out there. There's over 2 million active real estate licenses. Now, I recognize that not everybody is using them. But when you factor in, if you look at just NAR, you have about 1.6 right now million members. So even if you just take half of that, that's 800,000 agents that are in business per se. So when you do the math on how many homes get sold per year plus the amount of agents that are out there, statistically that is not true. This is not everybody gets their 1.2 sales per year because people are actually trying to make a living off of this. So I'm going down a tangent, but essentially the times like that we're in right now really make those dumb comments just really seem even dumber. Where no, there is not enough business for everybody. That is just not a thing. So I want to go over an article that came up here recently that really illustrates this. The number of home sales per real estate agent is at its lowest level in over a decade. So let's see what this has to say. Now, this article is courtesy of Business Insider. Not as many people are buying homes in an expensive housing market, and it's slowing things down for real estate agents. Facts. The number of home sales per agent has fallen to its lowest level in over a decade. A note from Apollo's management, Torsten, whatever that is, stated. So it goes on to explain what are some of the reasons. Well, with homeowners right now that are locked below 4% mortgage rates, it's a little bit more challenging to go into a 6%, 7% interest rate. A lot of home buyers, home sellers aren't willing to do that. And then here it just shows that the agent to job rate, there's also a geographic nuance, blah, 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 blah. So with fewer real estate agents per 1,000 jobs in states like California and New York as people flock to southern states. So this graph right here, let's see if we can zoom in and get a little better graph. This shows the amount of real estate agents per 1,000 jobs. So you have California, 1 out of 1,000 jobs is for agents. Arizona, 2.9. That's on the higher end. Florida has the highest, 3.4 realtors per 1,000 jobs. And then Texas is 2.1. So you see most of the agent jobs are down here is what they're saying, where you have the southeast side, you have Texas, you have Arizona. So places where a lot of people are flocking to. Now, I wanted to talk about a comment that just bewildered me here. The cost of living and even the climate have helped warp the market. So of course I agree with the cost of living, and then the climate part was a little bit interesting to me. A Redfin report found that the high air quality risks have exacerbated maybe out migration from the West, especially from cities like Los Angeles, San Francisco, San Jose. Still, the job report noted that the high cost of living is a primary driver for that exodus. I would focus on this. I wouldn't necessarily I wouldn't blame Mother Nature for this. Like, I think if you're looking for like what is leading to this massive cost, and obviously it says a primary is a high cost of living, but if you're looking for secondary, is just all the poop on the streets in San Francisco, all of the drug usage out on the streets, all of the mugging, all of the theft, all of the policies that are coming in. I'm not trying to make this political, but if you look at all the policies that are in place in San Francisco, where you can steal up to a certain amount and you really get away with it, essentially. Maybe focus on those rather than start talking about the high air quality risks that are available. I thought this was just so out of pocket, so crazy to say, because I mean, just look at other major cities out there that take the United States out of it. If you want to take the politics out of it, if you look at the major cities out there, like the Cairos of the world, the Tokyos of the world, those populations continue to grow, and I guarantee you their air quality is worse. So I just thought that was just so silly. This is and then it goes on to explain the migration. But at the end of the day, here's what's happening. I thought this was more of an article to really illustrate the fact that as real estate agents, yes, the market has something to do with the less transactions available, for sure. That is happening right now. At the moment, as real estate agents, we can control what we can control at the moment. We can't really control the commission aspect. That's something that is being litigated through courts. What you can control is how much time you're putting into prospecting, how you're sharpening your conversion, your verbiage. How are you converting more? So your lead generation is something that you can absolutely control. How many conversations are you having? Are you launching the ads? Are you door knocking? Are you cold calling? Are you open housing? Are you doing your YouTube videos? There's a lot of inputs that you can make right here and right now to generate more leads, irrespective of what the industry trends are doing. So we have agents that are in our group right now that have doubled their business in a land of higher interest, in a uncertain climate, in being relatively new to the industry, because they focused on the lead generation aspect. And as they got more and more leads, then they sharpened their sword on their scripts, on what they were saying to the clients or the leads that were coming in. What were their processes like when they first got the lead? How did they nurture them? What were their follow-ups like? So they were focused on the conversion. The third part of the business is how can they scale their business? So how could they automate? How could they leverage their time? What in technology could they introduce? What could they learn in their business to make it better? So this means getting the technology to automate a lot of the things that they're doing. This means learning something new, either through going to conferences, tapping into masterminds, speaking and networking with top producing agents. That has a lot to do with your success as well, and how you're growing, how you're leveraging your business, and then ultimately how you service the client. So those are 4 things. So 1 is lead generation, 2 is converting, 3 is scaling, and 4 is actually doing the business that a real estate agent does. So again, this is one of those articles that is one of those topics that is often, I guess, shied away from. The reality is that no, there's not enough business for everybody, and articles like this just make it abundantly clear, but oftentimes we just miss it. So let me know what you think. How long have you been in the industry? What do you think the future of the industry is? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'm curious to see what perspectives are out there. It's just my opinion, something that I share not often enough, the reality of the business. And I think right now it's just one of those opportunities that I kind of wanted to, break open the conversation and see what's out there, what you're thinking. But let me know.